GRS, M, they're all abbreviations, but I like to call them shortcuts to happiness and rather delightful performance. Well, we've got a new kid on the block. This is the first SVR SUV for Jaguar, and it is being manufactured by Armed Forces of Jag Special Vehicle Operations. Now, it's a pretty beefed up F-Pace, but you all know this is just a beginning. Perhaps we're not off to such a good start with this exterior paint color. I mean, this dull gray, come on. I'm begging, if you're going for this kind of a car, go for something spicy like red or blue, because this is just a little bit too discreet for my liking. Jaguar, like a proper cat, walks its own path, whilst all the other manufacturers are putting turbochargers in their performance cars. Well, in most cars, Jaguar disdains turbo. It just simply ignores it and goes proper old school. They've put a supercharged 5-litre V8 engine under the bonnet of this car, which simply sounds phenomenal. Oh. And part of the appeal for me in this car is the fact that this era, sadly, is coming to an end. Right, but does it have what it takes to win over its competitors, the likes of Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifolgio, Mercedes AMG GLC 63? Well, for starters, one of the arguments are the figures. We've got 550 horsepower, 680 newton meters of torque. The declared 0 to 100 is only 4.3 seconds. And although the Stelvio Quadrifolgio is half second quicker than this one, this cat makes up with something else. It doesn't matter whether you're in eco, comfort or dynamic mode. When you put your foot down in this car, I mean, their response is just boom. There's no place for messing around. That is unfortunately common with a lot of cars with turbochargers here. And this is a comfort mode I'm driving in. I mean, this is pretty impressive. Anyway, let's pop here into dynamic mode and have a little bit more fun. You see, this car has got a very different character and gives you a very different sensation to a turbocharged car, because it doesn't matter whether you're at low or high revs. It's just a reaction. It's so quick. This car is so alive. It's like a ticking bomb ready to explode. I mean, swear to God, Jesus, I bloody love it. There are no weaknesses at low revs, and as you enter the red range area, this car starts to have an appetite of a hungry wolf and actually starts to act almost like a supercar with a naturally aspirated engine. Look at what I'm doing here on this curvy road. This is let's not kid ourselves, it's a pretty big SUV, and I'm starting to blabber because, I mean, honestly, wow. Who would have known? But then again, it is a Jag.
Get up and let's face it. No need to erase it.
We've got an 8-speed automatic transmission that will knock one or more gears down to ensure that you're not going to kill yourself. But in a comfort mode, it is very subtle, very smooth, and you just don't notice the change of gears at all. Now, it's safe to say that this car is pretty light, but interestingly enough, it is not as loud as, for example, the Range Rover Sport SVR. Well, you can thank European Union's new regulations for this lovely gift. Oh, politics, don't get me started.
'Cause life goes on.
In the dynamic mode, the steering is very sharp and very pointy, and you really feel this Jag character. What else you feel in the dynamic mode is the stiff suspension, but this is good because it makes this car not roll like a big old boat. In fact, the grip here is excellent. We've got an all-wheel drive system that certainly reduces the chances of me driving off this mountain. Now, this car is a practical family SUV, but this car, let me tell you, is a fun car, and you will, no doubts about this, get carried away. But luckily, you've got the braking power that's got your back and can certainly deal with 550 horsepower and, well, my big fat ego. Now, when you're done having fun or simply run out of money for petrol because this crazy mountain driving is costing me a whopping 24 liters per 100 kilometers, but I was actually averaging about 12 to 13 liters driving like a, well, normal-ish person, which isn't too bad at all. You pop it back into comfort mode, and this wild, alive, confident cat becomes this polite, sweet and fluffy kitten that is quiet, that is very refined, and just rides beautifully. We've got this gorgeous interior here, and these seats, I mean, they look tough, and they are tough, but they're also very posh with cooling and heating function. It's a pretty nice package, if you ask me. Before we wrap up, let's talk money, honey. You knew this was coming. The starting price in Switzerland is 115,000 Swiss francs, which is more or less an equivalent to the US dollar. If you ask me, this is a very fair price because you get a whole lot of car for 115k. Not to mention this gem of an engine, supercharged 5-litre V8. I mean, this is not gonna last for very long, so if you like it, you know, get cracking. This car is an ideal choice for those who crave a bit of thoroughbred Jaguar but want a lot of posh space. As for me, well, I'm a fan of Jaguars and I love it. I absolutely love this car. Yes, it's a big SUV, but I really like it actually. So that's this. Brings me to the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you all very, very soon. Bye!
To another